at that point, it felt like England were on the ropes. And one of our reporters described that Mexico goal as like a monster being unleashed inside the stadium. The atmosphere just went to another notch, and that was what England were up against. You know, it was a proper away fixture in a World Cup.
In the early hours, England beat Mexico 3-2. This was the moment injury time finally ended.
In comes the corner, it's an in-swinger. Pickford punches it away. Referee, blow your whistle. He has. England have won. They've laid bare the curse of the Azteca.
I really love that. Referee, blow your whistle. That's exactly what I was screaming here in the office. Captain Harry Kane scored a penalty and gave one away. This was his reaction.
Yeah, it was a crazy game. We had to fight. We had to find something. I've just been sitting there. I can't really talk, but all the occasion, the team, everything against us, we found a way.
I just love it.
That's been funny all morning, hasn't it?
It's just absolutely exceptional. James Restall is head of sport for The Times and joins us here. Good morning.
Good morning.
So go on then, rank it. In terms of England performances that you've seen, where does this one go?
Number one by a country mile.
And
Honestly.
for people who haven't seen it, because there will be, some of our listeners have been up all the way through and are don't know what to do with themselves now. But if people haven't seen it, what was so exceptional about what happened last night?
This had all of the ready-made excuses that England would use had they been knocked out of and have been knocked out of tournaments. A red card, questionable VAR decisions, the altitude, which a lot was made of in the build-up. The hostility of the stadium, everything, the fact that the kickoff was delayed by an hour, and there was talk on Friday that the kickoff would need to be moved forwards because of storms. It was all there for an excuse-laden England exit, and they came through the adversity. They played best part of 50 minutes with 10 players. It was in that sense a tactical masterclass from Thomas Tuchel. Every substitution worked. The players ran themselves into the ground. Matt Lawton, his piece that we put up this morning, sort of describes Anthony Gordon and Jude Bellingham as the athleticism of long distance runners, the amount of effort they put into it. It was quite extraordinary, and actually it's not everybody will want to watch it back in full, but I think everybody who wants to should watch it back in full because it is exhilarating. Even if you know the score, it's exhilarating.
It was scrappy though, wasn't it? I mean, there was a lot of pushing and pulling. There was a lot of physical sort of confrontation between the players. Mexico knew that this was a huge game and they had a lot riding on it. Obviously, not a great result for them. There were some mistakes. I mean, what did you take away from that? Because we're heading into play Norway, which, we should win, but it's not necessarily going to be an easy game.
I think, the way they managed up until they scored the second goal, England, it was almost the perfect performance, because the way Mexico have attacked this tournament is to go really, really hard in the first 10 minutes and almost blitz the opposition, score an early goal, and then they're in the ascendancy, and particularly in those conditions, it's really hard for teams to get back into the game. And England just really doggedly, it was a really not boring, but it was quite a slow first 20 minutes, and they got to that first hydration break level, and it kind of took the sting out of Mexico's game. And then England scored two brilliant counter-attacking goals through Jude Bellingham, and we were thinking there was a team of four of us in the office, two sub-editors in New York, and then our team in Mexico City, and we were all thinking, oh my goodness, this is the perfect performance. And then they switched off at a set piece, and it was quite lucky for Mexico. The goal, it was a fortuitous goal, but at that point, it felt like England were on the ropes. And one of our reporters described that Mexico goal as like a monster being unleashed inside the stadium. The atmosphere just went to another notch, and that was what England were up against. It was a proper away fixture in a World Cup.
There were some. There was a red card.
Yep.
There were some sort of niggles, I suppose, for a couple of players. I think Saka came off, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Jordan Henderson looks to have caused himself a bit of an injury.
Incredibly unfortunate for him.
Do we know what's... Because last time we reported this, we were waiting to hear about what happened. Something to do with his wrist, maybe?
So what we understand is that he fell over climbing over the advertising hoardings during the celebrations and has injured his wrist. He's in hospital in Mexico City, and the rest of the squad have gone back to Kansas City without him. He's got to spend the night in Mexico. Thomas Tuchel said the injury was quite serious, so I guess there will be questions over his participation in the rest of the tournament. Bukayo Saka, as you mentioned, he's been struggling with his fitness throughout the tournament, but yet managed to still conjure up the assist for the first goal, and so they managed to get 50 or so really good high quality minutes out of him. The questions in the coming days will inevitably be, how much did this effort take out of the squad?
Well, they've got 6 days,
and I think we understand they're going to have they're pretty much going to give the players 2 days off now and proper R&R and just try and get the energy back into them, because that was such a Herculean effort that those players put into that performance.
Yeah, it was great to watch.
Do we have to accept? I hate the hydration breaks, as you know, but if you've got a good manager, let's just be honest. Football in America is played in 4 quarters.
Yeah,
and the manager comes on. They shouldn't let them coach if you wanted to make a pure hype, but they clearly do. If you watch England, the whole backroom stuff come on. They talk to players individually. They've calmed Bellingham down at certain points. They've revved them up at other points. This could be Tuchel's World Cup, because he's a very good tactical manager, and he gets basically 3 shots to reshape the performance.
Yeah. Well, I think particularly in this game, they had a strategy for all 4 quarters. Might not have executed it perfectly, but you could just tell from the way that they made. And they did it against DR Congo as well. That the first quarter was terrible, but then they used that first break to reset and to go again.
James, we're as excited as you are.
Well,
Can you tell?
I am. I'm really excited.
James, I don't know if you've heard it. We actually videoed Kate watching
brilliant.
and she was jumping around singing "It's Coming Home." Do you think they could win the World Cup?
Yeah.
I think they.
Say yes, James.
I'd love to say yes. I think probably the realist in me says that there's still a long way to go. However, I feel a lot more confident after witnessing that, because we've seen that group of players take themselves to a level that I don't think we've seen before.
James Restall, Head of Sport for The Times, thank you very much. Do come back next week. Hopefully we'll be talking in such positive terms.
And also, anyone who subscribes to The Times knows this, but they do sport so well. They do football particularly well. And after these type of, I love Matt Lawton, for example. He always writes brilliant stuff. But Martin Samuel's there, a whole bunch of them are there. And when you wake up, just go onto the Times app and see them reporting about the football. It's going to be a hell of a week. Obviously, it's going to be massively hyped up.
But Erling Haaland, though, he's an absolute man-mountain.
The rubber-faced Nordic giant.
If you don't know who we're talking about, go online, have a look at some clips. No, not everybody does.
Everyone knows who Erling Haaland is.
I knew in the abstract, but then I watched some clips on TikTok.
I'd say he's like one of the most 5 famous footballers in the world. He eats offal.
He can do some special things with his feet, is all I'm saying.
He does some special things with his face. He likes liver and heart.
There you go.
He won't be eating a greasy breakfast.
No, I've only half eaten. I haven't managed to finish it yet.
We think someone might have sent another breakfast for
Kate. Well, for those who are invested in it, I did order the breakfast, and I have half eaten the breakfast. And we did give it to Max Scott, who was delighted.